guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and welcome to an empties video. I keep all my empties in like a drawer next to my vanity, like at the very bottom, and my drawer is getting to the point where it's not wanting to close, so it's time. I had to reshuffle some videos here because I was like, I need to get this done and out of the way. So it's time for an empties video. If you guys are interested in hearing about the products that I have completely used up and my final thoughts on them, then just keep on watching. Alright, Lola's in a mood right now. I actually just had to refilm part of my intro because she decided to bump the camera and it was all woohoo. So yeah, sorry if you hear noises or if the camera starts going crazy, because that's where we're at. Alright, so like I said, basket pretty full. There is some stuff in here that aren't empties, but they're like trash, like they're going away, I'm done with them kind of thing. So I'll probably end up flipping back and forth between the different things, like, you know, stuff that I'm getting rid of versus stuff that I've completely finished up, but I'll tell you my thoughts regardless. I have no rhyme or reason in this basket, in this drawer, none whatsoever. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab it and go. I finished off a big one of the Garnier Micellar Water, the waterproof one, the blue cap with the oil in it. This is my favorite. I find that it removes my eyeliner the easiest. It removes my mascara the easiest. I don't use this as my sole makeup remover unless I'm feeling incredibly lazy. I will double cleanse in the shower, and then typically, because I don't like aggressively rub my eyes in the shower, I'll have some like leftover mascara, a little bit of leftover eyeliner, typically some like right up in here because apparently I suck at washing this part of my face, that little contour right there. And so I'll take a reusable makeup cotton round and a little bit of micellar water, and it'll just clean up, especially also like right around my hairline. If I'm not washing my hair, then I don't like go all the way in because like I don't want to get my hair wet, and, you know, yeah. So use one of those, absolute my favorite. Already have backups, will forever use that. This is the Tree Hut moisturizing shave oil. This is in the shade Coconut Lime. Okay, so there is still actually some at the bottom of this. I have been having issues with these recently in that the pumps have been breaking on me. I'll have one that it'll be completely fine, and then I will have one that I'll get a couple days use out of it, and then the pump will just stop like this. It'll just stop, like it'll give me a fraction of a fraction. I'm talking not even enough for a singular armpit. Like it'll give me such a small amount, and I'll be sitting there like just trying to get as much out as I possibly can. And typically when that happens, I will buy a new one, and then I will take the pump out of that one, put it in whichever one I already have open, and then use that one up and then go into my new one. So anyways, that's what I did here. Towards the end, the other issue that I have is that the pump, you actually can't see it because the sticker is in the way, but the bottom of the pump stops like right about here. So you end up having to take the lid off and pour it out in your hand, and now suddenly you have way too much and all this. So I think I just hit a point where I was just like, I'm fucking over this. I also have come to realize I'm not the hugest fan of this scent. This cat is fucking insane. I don't know, something about it just doesn't 100% do it for me personally. It's fine, I just don't love it. Do I have this on stop? Yes, I do, thank God. Anyways, I like the product though. The actual product itself, it does a really, really good job at helping me shave, and it doesn't make me like my skin super dry, because my skin will get really, really dry when I shave. So that is something that actually helps that issue. So I like the product. I'm just having issues with the product. Also, I'm somebody who really likes like my body wash and my sugar scrub and my shave oil and my lotion to all kind of mesh and match. I don't want like, they don't have to be all identical scents, but I don't want clashing scents, and so I'm having an issue finding like cohesive scents to go together. Let's move on, shall we? I'm going to talk about both of these at the same time because, well, frankly, why not? I have here a Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm, and I also have an e.l.f. Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. Both of them are great. They function identically, honestly. This one, you get less product, but it's significantly cheaper. I think I have done the math before and it worked out. How much do you get in this? Does it actually say on here? Why would it say on the actual package? It probably says on the box that it comes in. 2 ounces. Okay, so you actually don't. So this is 2 ounces. This is 3.8 ounces. So this is just over half of what's in here. It just looks like it's significantly less, right? And this is like 10 bucks and this is like 30 bucks. So this is a way better buy. You also get a little scoop, whichever with each one, which is great. I think the last time I had finished the last one of this one up and then I went to go use this one because I bought this like on sale or something. I ended up taking a little scoop and using it for this one as well. But yeah, so if you really, really like the Take the Day Off cleansing balm, but you want to save some money, I would highly recommend the e.l.f. Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I go back and forth between cleansing balms and cleansing oils. Honestly, I prefer a cleansing oil. It's a lot more easy to kind of manage how much you get. You know what to expect with each pump, whereas, you know, with you're using a scoop or your finger, like you're getting a different amount each time and you're like, oh shit, I didn't get enough, or oh shit, I got way too much kind of thing. So I personally prefer a cleansing oil, but for some reason I cannot find one that I like. I used to really, really love the Fourth Ray Beauty one, the BFD cleansing oil. Doesn't exist anymore. Just disappeared one day. Gone. So I have been kind of back and forth on the hunt for one that is affordable and good. And so this was one that I tried. This is the Neutrogena Ultra Light Cleansing Oil. Yeah, I had to use so much of this to get it to work. Weirdly enough too, this is the only cleansing oil or cleansing balm that I have found that worked better with my hands being wet. Everything else, it was like I get in the shower and before I do anything I have to get my cleansing oil, get my cleansing balm, and then rub it into my face, dry hands, dry face, and then, you know, wash it off, wash off my hands kind of thing. This was the only one that like it functioned better with my hands wet, but still wasn't very good. Would not recommend. Not a fan. Moving on. Apparently I had a lot of skincare stuff right at the very top. This is the Revolution Skincare 2% Salicylic Acid toner. I purchased this as a testing dupe for the Paula's Choice 2% Salicylic Acid, BHA, whatever. And this has slightly different ingredients. I will say that the Paula's Choice one is definitely a little bit more hydrating than this one is. But for the price, and I prefer the packaging of this one. This one you can actually like squeeze it out versus the Paula's Choice one doesn't have any squeeze to it. You have to like shake it out like a fucking salt shaker and it gets everywhere and it's just a mess. So I like the packaging of this one a lot more. But for the price, I really truly didn't notice like a drastic difference between the two. This still worked really beautifully. It kept my skin, you know, very even. It kind of helped target any acne that I had or any breakouts or anything like that. So I would recommend this. I am trying a different one at the moment. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, out of the two, if you have really, really, really dry skin and you want to use a BHA, I would recommend probably using the Paula's Choice one because it is a little bit more hydrating. But this one, if you have more normal to oily skin, or you honestly are just somebody who will put on your BHA, but then you'll go in with a lot of like heavy moisturizing ingredients, you could use this one. It worked really well. All right, I finished off a Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is in quite literally every single one of my Empties videos. It's one of my favorites. I use it every single day to like melt down any powders on my face and just kind of make my skin look like skin. Like my face is fully powdered down right now. But part of the reason why my skin looks like skin is because of that spray. Love it so much. All right, I have a lot of little shit in here, so I'm just gonna grab a handful. One of the things that I did decide to purge, and I actually had originally planned to do this in a declutter video, and I just like forgot about it completely, but I had a ton of colored like liners, not like liquid liners or like water activator or anything like that, like just colored pencil liners. Pencil was the word I'm looking for there. Jesus. I had a ton of them. They were really, really, really old. I'm talking like I bought them in like 2018, if not earlier. So I don't ever use them. I truly reach for black and brown, and now I have like a burnt orange shade. And that's pretty much the extent of what I reach for. And that's the extent of what I've always reached for. So I decided it was time to get rid of the colored ones that I don't ever use. So I have a pink. I have a bright blue. I have a purple. I have an orange. I have a white. I have a purple. I have a blue. I have way more in here that I haven't grabbed yet, but I'm just grabbing things by the handful because I have a ton of little stuff. Another thing that I am deciding to get rid of is the NYX Epic Smoke Liners. I tried these about a year ago on my channel. They're supposed to be like, they are liners on one side that are kind of angled like the older like brow pencils. And then on the other side, they have this weird like paddle brush. And you're supposed to be able to, you know, do whatever liner, and then you can go in and like smoke it out with your little fucking toothbrush thing. The liners themselves were lackluster. They didn't have a really good pigment. They were very like skippy as you were applying them. When you went to go blend them out with the little brushy thing, they just blended away to pretty much fucking nothing. And then when you would try to build them up, it would pick up the product underneath it. It just wasn't pleasant. Also, the couple times that I did wear it, it like smudged and creased and stuff like that. So I mean, I will throw out there that the very first time that I did wear test these, I got into a car accident. So could have played a role in some of the smudging, but not some of the like upper waterline creasing. Like I had some definite like transfer situations happening. So those are going. I did finish off a full size of, Jesus, this is the Grande Lash. I use it on my brows. I don't use it on my lash line, but does a really, really good job at helping me grow my eyebrows in when I go through my phases of picking my eyebrows out. So, but yeah, awesome product. Another couple, I missed an Epic smoke liner. Another couple liners that I'm getting rid of. I have a blue, I have a dark blue. When was the last time you guys saw me wear like a colored liner like that? Honestly, I am also getting rid of the other one, the About Face shadow sticks. I had the same issues with these that I had with the Epic smoke liners. They just weren't pigmented enough. They were skippy, they were transfery, they were creasy. They just wasn't the vibe. Another thing that I am getting rid of is this NYX Lingerie XXL liquid lipstick. This one is in the shade Unhooked. There's nothing wrong with this. The color's just not for me. It's a kind of like a really, just like, can you chill, please, maybe? It's like a very 2016 grayish shade, and I wore it for a Halloween look, and then I was just like, I can't. It looks stupid on me. I look dead. It was great for that Halloween look, but just, I wasn't going to keep it around for another year to potentially use it next year for Halloween. Like, it's fine. And then I did finish up a Physicians Formula Eye Booster, waterproof in Blackest Black. This is one of my two favorite liquid liners. I will go back and forth between this one and the NYX Epic Ink Lip Liner. Hands down my favorite. They got brush tips. They're super black. They don't transfer. They don't smudge. They don't wear off. They're just really, really good liners. Oh, the other thing that I do have in here as well is stuff that I finished up in Project Pan. So it's stuff that I would have talked about in my Project Pan, but I didn't like go into detail about it because I knew that I was just going to toss them in my empties. So if I finished something in my Project Pan and I showed it to you guys on camera and be like, hey, look, I finished this completely, then I would toss it in this basket to give you guys like my full final review. I don't think that I really need to give you guys a review on the Becca Backlight first. Jesus Christ. Becca Backlight Priming Filter. it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, there's like the Smashbox knockoff, but I haven't tried it, so I can't say for sure. While I'm at it, I don't think I need to give you guys a review on the Becca First Light Priming Filter, considering same thing. Doesn't exist anymore. Very sad to see those both go. Very sad to see them not in my collection anymore. Whatever. Let's see here. I got a red. I got a dark red. This one was like one of my ride or dies, but I've had it for so fucking long. And also have a neon fucking yellow. I'm gonna go into my plan here in a little bit once I get to a product that I wanted to talk about. I did finish off an AOA Super Strip Lash Adhesive. I think there was still some left in this, but you know how lash adhesive gets, where it gets a little gunky and gross, and then like it's just thick, you know, so it just kind of hit its point. This is my favorite lash glue. It is like $1.50, something like that on Shop Miss A. You can also buy it in, I want to say like a 6-pack. Yeah, like a 6-pack from Amazon for like 10 bucks. So still really, really, really affordable. It's just as good as Duo lash glue, but like a 1/6 of the price. So definitely highly recommend. I also finished up a NYX Thick It, Stick It Thickening Brow Mascara. This is my favorite brow mascara to use. It has like some fibers and stuff in it, and it just does a really, really good job at like thickening up what brow hair I have, and then I can just kind of like fill in the areas. So that's a lot of what you guys see up here. I mean, there is some brow pen in there, but like a lot of what you'll originally see is brow, is that stuff right there. Again, that was another thing that like, it still had some use left in it, but like it was getting a little thick, getting a little worse for wear, and I was like, I have a backup, so it's time to move on. And then I finished up a NYX Bear With Me setting spray, or like multitasking spray, whatever. So the way that I use this is actually twice during my makeup routine. I will use this before I put on my primer, so I'll like spray my face down before I put on my primer, and then once I have all of my cream products on, so foundation, concealer, cream bronzer, cream blush, and I'm getting ready to like put on some powder, I will then take this again, spray down my face, make sure everything is nice and hydrated, let that dry completely, and then I will go in with powder. And I love it. I think this is one of the big reasons why my face isn't as dry as it used to be. And also just like a big reason why my makeup sits a lot better than it used to is because I'm adding in a lot of hydration. Not so much hydration that like shit's, you know, fucking slipping and sliding around, but enough hydration that everything is sitting pretty, you know? I also finished up I just like keep leaning back. This is the second video I filmed today, and my body is ready to not be sitting up completely straight. I also finished up a Pixie Correction Concentrate Brightening Peach Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I wiped that shit completely clean. I do really, really like this. I have since found one that I like more, but if it were to come down to it, I would not be opposed to purchasing this again. The only thing that I have issue with is the fact that this is literally the only shade. So anyone like a couple shades deeper than me can't fucking use this. But yeah, it's fine. It's a little bit more matte than a couple of the other ones that I have tried, and it's a little bit more matte than the one that I like the most, but it does a beautiful job. I finished up a Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Bear to Comment. This is my ride or die absolute favorite lip liner. This is like my lips but better color, and it's like $2 or $3 every time I go to a store that sells them, which I think is like Target and CVS, maybe Walgreens, but I don't go to Walgreens that often. Also fuck Walgreens, but that's besides the point. Every time I go to like Target and I see them, I always pick up a couple backups because, well, they're like $2 or $3, which reminds me I'm going to Target today. Anyways, moving on. This is from my project pan. This is the Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation. First of all, the cap just completely shattered on me, so it does not stay on there very well. This foundation was like okay at best. It was all right. It did great for like my project pan because I was able to use it and mix it in with some other stuff and get it gone. But like when it was just sitting in my regular like vanity, just like with the rest of my makeup. I hardly ever reached for it. It was fine. It wasn't good, but it wasn't like horrific. Oh my god, this cat. So that's kind of where I would put it. It was just like, it was fine. Another thing from my project pan, which is again, just was fine, is the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Balm. Biggest reason why I didn't like this is because it's super like icy pale pink, which just wasn't very flattering. The way that I like to use like Lip Injection Extremes lip plumping glosses is I will put it on while I'm doing my eyeshadow and then let it do its thing, hydrate my lips, plump my lips up, and then before I put on my foundation, I will wipe it off and my lips will feel nice and hydrated and everything like that. And this did do that, but when I'm filming and I have no other makeup on and I have like eyeshadow all the way up under here because I'm just, you know, blending away and all that shit, and then suddenly I have these weird like icy pink lips, it just looked out of place. It wasn't nearly as plumping as any of the other Too Faced lip injections, it was okay. It was alright. I fucking finished up one of these guys. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy. I prefer this way more over the regular Shape Tape. This is way better for my under eyes, but if you ever saw my decluttering my backups video, I kind of just kept finding backups of these. Like I just would black out and I guess buy them when they were on sale or point multipliers or whatever. So I had a ton of these. So when I realized that I had like 4 fucking backups of these and I was still on the first tube that had taken me like 7 months, I put my head down and I was like, I'm gonna use this up. I'm gonna use this up. And so now I'm on my second tube. And it's great. It's great. Very similar product here. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have always considered those two to be a dupe. This one obviously being the cheaper dupe. I've talked about them being dupes in the past. My issue is that there is like a paint thinner-esque scent to this that bothers me. It didn't used to be there and then suddenly it was there. I don't, maybe that's just my nose. Who's to say? I finished this up. It was in a project pan and I finished it up. And I will honestly, I'll probably just stick with the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy just because I like the scent better and I feel like it doesn't irritate me the same way. I need to go change my battery. I'll be right back. Sorry, this camera's super weird in that the battery will stay charged for quite some time. And then the second it hits 2 bars, or well, it has 3 bars. The second it hits the second bar, so it's 2/3 of the way, it will go from 2/3 to dead like that. So every time I see it hit the second, I'm like, huh, gotta go. And of course I didn't actually charge a battery in preparation for this. I have 3 batteries and I had 2 sitting aside. The one that I have now says that it's fully charged, but hopefully it'll make me through this whole video. I should probably shut the fuck up and get going, huh? Okay, next up is a product that I used most of the way. I have tried this in the past and I really like the formula. Don't get me wrong. I really like the formula. I really like the method of this. I should say what it is first. It is the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray Ultra Matte Finish with Aloe and Vitamin E. It's a setting spray. So I really liked this the first time I tried this, probably about a year and a half ago or something like that. But I noticed that, having a hard time here, the rim was getting rusty. And I think this was right around the time that my OCD started to show its ugly face. And I was like, ooh, I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. So I ended up, maybe I finished it up, maybe I got rid of it. I don't 100% remember. But I got to a point where I kept seeing it on Ulta and I was like, this has really good reviews. Maybe they changed it. I'm not seeing anyone talk about rust. Why is that? So I decided to give it another shot when it was like on sale. I want to say it's probably down to about here. There's still stuff in there. It sprays out a lot similar to the Morphe setting spray, except it's not continuous. You do have to pump it, but it has that really fine, kind of almost hairspray-like mist. I decided to give it another shot. I did notice the rusting. I did decide to kind of, you know, deal with it. I actually have another one here. The rust started to get so bad it started to like leak, like build up around the edges, and then one day I went to go use it and it was completely clogged. So getting rid of that one, and I also made the decision to take the lid off of this one. So it now sits in my drawer like this without the lid on it, which you have to put quite a bit of pressure on this to get it to spray, so I'm not like worried about that. But now it can fully dry without like rust building up on it, so I think that that's like the go-to for me. I do, again, I really like it. I think that it locks down my makeup really, really well, everything like that. It's just, also it says ultra matte. I don't see it being ultra matte. I see it being like a really good setting spray. I will say it does smell a little bit like hairspray, but okay, another thing from my project pan. This is the NYX Bright Maker Primer. Again, it was okay. It's kind of like an orangey, peachy, very glowy primer. It was fine. It was moisturizing. It was fine. It was very expensive for what it was. But yeah, it was okay. Some more liners I'm getting rid of. I have a green. I have another brown. I have another brown. And I have an orange. This was also one of my absolute favorites, but again, I've had it for so fucking long. It's time for it to go, because that was just like an eye infection waiting to happen. I also finished up, this is again from my project pan, a Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. It was fine. The coverage on it was mediocre. I honestly tried it because I assumed that it was probably going to be very similar to the NARS one, and is that just because of the name? Absolutely. I accidentally purchased the wrong shade for me. It's very close to my skin tone and not very close to like the color that I like to put underneath my eyes. So for that reason, I always ended up using it as like a spot concealer. Worked fine. It just, the coverage was like mediocre. It was like a little bit too creamy and too hydrating, so it would kind of like break down pretty easily. Okay, I have a couple more lip products that I'm getting rid of. This is the fucking A. This is the e.l.f. Lip stain gloss thing in the shade Cinnamon Dreams. So you look at that and you're like, oh, that's like a nice brown shade, and then you apply it and it's like an okay brown shade, but it's like a little bit patchy and a little bit streaky, and then the stain is like neon fucking pink. So I never liked it. I never fucking liked it. This is the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Lip Cream in the shade Baby Doll. This just turned bad on me. I've found that the majority of ColourPop lip products turn on me very, very, very quickly. So it just wasn't good, and so it goes away. This is another thing that I got rid of. Honestly, I tried it like once and I hated it. This is the NYX This Is Milky Gloss in the shade Cookies and Milk. I got this like a free gift with purchase, and I put it on, and it's again that really just like dead grayish shade. It just was not flattering at all. It smells good, I'll give it that, but that's the color right there. It's just, it was not a flattering color. I was never a fan of those like milky shades. All right, these are the last liners, but these ones are actually used up. These are the L'Oreal Le Liner Signature. These are in the shade Noir Cashmere. I also have a brown one that I use that isn't used up, obviously. Great, great, great liners. You can put it on your upper waterline. It will not transfer. You can use it as a regular liner, will not smear or smudge or anything like that. It's really, really nice. I think that they're discontinuing this though, because it's like not available anywhere anymore. But yeah, really great. So I decided to give a shot to the About Face liner. This is just as good as the L'Oreal one. I actually find this one to be a little bit better. It's a little bit creamier. It's really good for making like a quick smoky wing, because you can kind of apply it, quickly blend it out, and then it will not go anywhere. So that's the kind of like burnt orange one that I got as well. And I kind of am leaning towards maybe picking up a couple of the colored ones from About Face, just so that I have the option if like I want to do just like a quick smoky colored liner, I can just boom, do it, done kind of thing. Kind of leaning towards it, maybe we'll see, but that's where I'm at. I had gotten rid of all of these liners way before I had kind of toyed around with that idea. But again, all of those liners were a fucking eye infection waiting to happen. We're making progress. We only have a couple things left. This is the L'Oreal Shake and Glow Dew Mist. I love this to kind of like, I'll use this immediately after the NYX one before I put on my primer. I used to, when I used to set down my face with a ton of powder, I used to go in with this to kind of bring my skin back to life, and it worked fine, but it also could be temperamental and could cause problems. So not just this, but like any oil-based dewy spray could cause problems. And ever since I've changed like how I do my makeup, I am already pretty glowy and dewy. Like I don't need to spray something like this on top of my foundation. Sometimes I will if like my under eyes are getting a little crazy, but overall, I do actually really like this. Again, I think that they're discontinuing it because I can't find it anywhere. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. Again, from my project pan, only because I accidentally bought the wrong shade and this was like fucking way too light. So I always had to use this. Like I actually used this in tandem with that Neutrogena one that was too deep and kind of mixed them together to kind of make it work. One of my favorite concealers when it's in the right shade, but when it's not in the right shade, it makes me look a little bit dry on the under eye because it is a little bit more full coverage. That one's a little bit more comparable to the regular Shape Tape. All right, I have here the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This one's in the shade Light 210N. I have to mix two shades together to make my correct shade. Don't ask me how it is that I finished this one up before the other one. I think that it had something to do with mixing together with the Morphe one. This was honestly, I had so much hope for this when I first tried it. I thought that it was so good. It looks fine for like the first couple hours and then it starts to really break up and just break down. So it's a pass for me. It's just not good. Another thing from my project pan, this is the Milani Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint. This burned the shit out of my under eyes. It also doesn't have, it's very thin. It was fine, it did its job, but again, it really burned my under eyes. I finished up a Pacifica Vegan Collagen Hydrating Setting Mist. This is a nice glass bottle. This was fine. It was all right. For the price and for what you get, I would sooner just purchase the NYX one. That's that. It was fine. I finished up an Ulta Beauty Curled Up Mascara. This was like a free gift with purchase. Honestly, I rarely ever purchase mascaras, and when I do, it's typically the holiday LA Girl, like, excuse me, the Holiday Essence, like, Lash Princess 4-pack, and then that will usually last me the majority of the year, and then sub that in with like random gifts with purchase and like travel size ones that I'll get. I don't have lashes really. I have fake ones obviously, but you can even see by like my lower lash line, I don't really have a lot of lashes, so mascara is really just neither here nor there for me. I truly could not give a flying fuck about it. I picked this up when I was starting to plan for my makeup kit for like makeup artistry for like client work, and I was like, ooh, I need an eyeliner that isn't an eyeliner pen because obviously you can't sanitize that. And so I was like, let me give a gel liner a try because I haven't used that in like a good 12 years. This one was shit, first of all. It also dried out on me very quickly. Like it is completely dry in there. I used it a couple times how I would have tried to use it on a client, didn't like it, ended up using it for a while to kind of smoke out my inner corner for more of like that kind of fox eye look. It was fine, but honestly, I just use the About Face Matte Fluid Eye Paint now. That's what I use. I have that for a client as well. I have here a Maybelline City Bronzer. This is in the shade 100. It is completely crumbled in there, so I'm not going to open it. Really beautiful bronzer. This is really like fair skin friendly, this shade 100. Really nice. Not crazy pigmented, which I appreciate, especially now that I am setting down cream bronzer with powder bronzer. But yeah, really nice. I enjoyed it. This is the NYX Bear With Me SPF 30. This is what I use every single day. This one's actually not finished. It's probably about, has like a third of it left. I went to use this one morning and it was all separated in there, and I tried so fucking hard. I shook that shit like crazy. I took like a palette mixer thing, and I was in there like stirring it. I tried super, super hard. It just separated on me and it wouldn't go back together. So I ended up just putting this one in here in the trash, and now I just grabbed one of my backups of it. But yeah, it separated on me, but also really, really nice SPF when it doesn't separate. I've never had that happen before. I don't know if it's because this summer was particularly warm or because this summer was particularly humid. But yeah, I've never had that happen before. I haven't had it happen since with any of the other ones. But yeah, it was gross because it's been sitting in here and like all of the oil that was all separated in there was like leaked out the side. Disgusting. All right, last two things. I have here an Essence. I have to sneeze. All right, last two things. I have here an Essence What the Fake Extreme Plumping Lip Gloss. So my kind of plan currently is to go back and forth between this and the Too Faced ones. Currently I'm on a Too Faced one, and then I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna go back and forth because I felt like by the end of this that my lips were kind of used to it and they weren't really reacting how I expected them to. But this shit is spicy. Spicy, spicy, spicy. Very, very spicy. So if you don't like spicy, don't try this, but it did such a good job at plumping my lips. Like such a good job. All right, and last but not least, I finished up an Urban Decay All-Nighter Ultra Glow. Personally thought that this was exactly the same as the regular all-nighter. I did not see any sort of glowing factor to it whatsoever. But yeah, it's all-nighter, and I've always loved all-nighter, and it does a really good job. So yeah. But if like that one were to be on sale, I would pick that one up. If the regular all-nighter were to be on sale, I would pick that up. But personally, I'm probably just gonna stick with the Makeup Revolution one for a while. And that's that. All right, so that's my trash. I now have a pile of trash on my floor. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below and let me know a product that you have finished up recently and your thoughts on them. I would love to know. Also forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, I'm aware that Halloween is over. I realized late last night that I forgot to change my background. My apologies. My apologies. Anyways, I hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome day. I keep saying that out of fucking order. This is now 2 videos in a row. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!